once again, and we are back. So, continuing off from where we left off, you said you guys want to start up and try to reach the goal of becoming a pretty big powerhouse in the economic standings of the server?
I don't know about a powerhouse, but we could certainly be instrumental. Like I said, I don't want to let on too much as to our prospects, but I do believe that they will be uh, very sought after from even these larger factions. Like I said, we've made some vague proposals with the Bastion and Aristotska, mainly just establishing a rapport. But
Yeah.
I believe that we will be able to be an instrumental force for any faction.
Hmm, that sounds very interesting. Another thing, um, in terms since you are attempting to become tradesmen and merchants, uh, what have you encountered that as a merchant that has brought you the most difficulty, and where do you think that there is more room for you guys to grow?
Difficulty. Again, I'll knock on wood. I don't want to jinx it, but it's been pretty good over here. Like I said, there's been no crime, and I guess instead of difficulty, the in terms of trade, I guess the velocity of people that we get through here is it's good, but it would be better if we had a stationary store. And you'll see on the road we have the a single shop, but if you go by it, you'll see that it is lacking walls. It's very lackluster right now.
Yeah.
Eventually, we want to open up a proper shop. That's actually just the museum gift shop, but we're gonna do a proper emporium somewhere. We're just cutting out a location to actually pursue these efforts. You see, I believe we're gonna
Okay.
wait until the snow has melted before we decide on a finite location, as well as also see where these alliance deals go before we set up shop anywhere.
Speaking of which, have most of your trades been mostly bartering, or how have these gone? Have you used any currencies? If so, what currencies have you guys most revolved around?
Well, I guess the most common currency would be gears, although there is quite a bit of bartering. It's typically bartering. That would be most of the deals we made. And I'm familiar that there are official currencies now, and we do have minute quantities of either. But as we haven't really done any official trade in those districts, we haven't really come across much of those currencies yet.
Okay. All right. Are you willing to use any of the actual currencies that are currently being made, or do you think you'll stick with gears or something else?
We're certainly okay to adopt anything else. Like I said, we have a minute quantity of either of the other coins. Forgive me, I don't remember their name. The
It
Northern
would be
Alliance
Narc
coin, I believe, is what we
coin.
had the most of.
Yeah,
Norks, yes,
it
yes.
would be the Narcs and then the Dwarf box, I think, from Trinity Hold.
Yes, we have only seen a few of those, but if they weren't such a commodity, we would definitely consider using them. Currency is currency after all, but if nobody has it and nobody wants it, then what good is it?
Yeah, I from what I've heard, they've been trying to spread it out more up north, but it seems they've had a lot of difficulty as some of the people they've interacted with, specifically from Brass and Steel, they've refused to accept it as a currency, and they only would want Narc coins.
Interesting. I can see how having two minting factions could be a point of contention, though. Do you know by chance what the conversion rate is between two coins?
It is currently unknown. I know that some person that has figured out conversion really well has been Kaiser Commander, and he has utilized the method of copper bits.
I see, I see. We'll have to consult with them on that, as that would be good info to have for sure.
if you are looking for a better economic aspect of it, it would be with Kaiser himself. He's the best person from what I've seen to talk to about it.
And we'll definitely have to get with him on that.
Another thing, up, uh, I don't know if you've seen a lot of what's been going on in the Discord server in and of itself, and other things in general. Um, do you have any opinions or any views upon what's been going on as of late in general? Be it like issues with the bigger factions, drama, for example, with what happened with the pirates, stuff like that.
Yes, so I will say that we have happened upon the old pirate base after the raid. There was not much to report, just a few unpillaged goodies that we sauntered off with. But we have not seen any of the pirates since. I've heard there's been a resurgence, though. But luckily, nothing in our area. As far as the actual current affairs, I can't say I've kept up with General today, but I did hear of the war that is brewing between the Northern Alliance and some Southern Alliance, even though they might not actually be called the Southern Alliance. I don't remember the name that they're using.
Yeah.
But on
Uh,
the factions directory, it was the Blue and the Red Alliances.
yeah, it would be
Seems
the
to be
United City States and the Northern Alliance.
oh my, your microphone has just exploded. My God.
I am so sorry. That happens because my headset is connected through like gigabit instead of Bluetooth, and it's ass whenever the internet fucked up.
I was worried you might have been consumed by a nuclear blast with that ungodly.
Happens sometimes. You get used to it after a while. But so it would be the Northern Alliance and the United City States of Yaren. Uh, I've been pretty involved in these things, and I've seen a lot of what's been going on. Uh, from what it looks like, it's just been a big game of telephone and uh, a lot of miscommunication between each of the factions and their faction leaders. A lot of uh, hearsay, a lot of she said, he said, stuff like that, as well as just generally just outright miscommunication and quote unquote slander, as well as people saying he said this, she said that, uh, which has melted into essentially it's not even in character, out of character anymore. It's become one big conversation that turned into a huge argument that isn't really even in character, out of character anymore. Was just pure bickering. But that has been
Interesting.
so far uh finished, and then tomorrow there will be a big meeting between both factions as to cool down tensions, hopefully.
We'll see. We'll see. I do know I have heard that this world's lifespan is only going to be at most 3 in-game years, possibly 4 at the very max. So
So,
I wouldn't be surprised if some contention started spurting up here, as a world that is fully engulfed in peace is hardly interesting, you see.
yeah. But, alas, both parties don't want war, yet both parties aren't prepared for war if the other one starts it, but neither of them want to start it. So it feels kind of pointless.
We'll see, we'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah. In your case, have you encountered anything outside of this? Outside of the current affairs? Maybe in previous interactions, have you had any? concerns over anything
I can't
outside?
say. It's been extremely peaceful out here, at least. Everyone that comes through is either looking to trade or just wandering through with no ill will. The only thing I could say is that we've seen some anti-church graffiti.
Hmm.
Somebody was etching things into the highway walls and the caves. Some anti-church sentiments against the Church of the Lightbringers. But I don't know who the culprit is.
Okay. Speaking of the churches and the religions, who do you personally follow, if I may ask?
Well, this is a very individual question, but a select few of us here at the consortium, we see to the will of the Gunch. Are you familiar with Mr. Gunch?
Yes, I am familiar with Mr. Gunch. I know that he's well affiliated with the
Yes.
Church of the Lightbringer. I myself being a
He's a
faithful.
sort of messiah, I suppose.
Hmm. Do you know if Gunch is around? I would love to have an interview with him at some point.
I have no clue where he is at. I'm sure he's doing holy work, though.
It would be my life's achievement to get to have a conversation like this with Gunch.
I believe there is a tavern just over yonder, quite a bit out east, a bit north. The Magic Tavern.
Oh,
That would be the last place I heard of him, although it was not recent, but it might be worth
hmm.
asking in that vicinity.
I will ask. I would ask. I would like to see if I can interact with him personally at some point. Uh, Rather than that, uh, how would you say has your overall experience with the server been? Has it been pretty positive? Do you have any negatives to speak of? Any concerns? Any comments?
I'm surprised that it performs so well given the volume. I know that this is vintage story history. There has not been a server of this magnitude before, so
Yeah,
it's interesting to be a part of that. It's honestly seemed rather isolated in terms of global affairs. Like I've said, there's been no wars, no raids yet, although we're familiar with the handbook, and we do expect that these will be coming. But
yeah,
so far, it seems everyone has just been establishing themselves and less intermingling at this point.
yeah. Which do you feel like this is a good thing? Do you feel like this is a bad thing? Do you feel like not necessarily could be good or bad?
I think it's a necessary thing. These settlements need to establish themselves before there are any stakes involved in any conflicts. A conflict with no establishment is worth nothing. There needs to be
In
risks, you see.
mhm. In comparison to the first week of the server, how do you feel like the second week has gone?
Well, the it's gotten a bit thinner in terms of player activity. It looks like, which is disheartening. But I do believe that is mainly due to the weather. Right now, those who have found themselves without adequate clothing, or perhaps were looking to do more farming or other seasonal festivities, they just find that they can't do it right now.
Hmm. Uh, for when you guys were here for the first few days of the server, uh, how was that for you in comparison to now?
Well, we were certainly extremely active at the beginning. Those are highest volume of activity, I would say. We made quite a boon, and I'd say for a while we were production-wise, just with how far we've made it in terms of the technical materials. We've kept up with some of the larger groups, but in time they have definitely surpassed us.
Okay. Hmm. Very, very insightful conversation. Another thing. Do what's the word? Do you have any words of wisdom, anything that you would like to share with the people that would view this video at some point?
I would say stay tuned for whatever's next in this story, because I do believe they are still accepting applications actively, and as again, there will be other worlds after this one, and I'm sure it will only become more of a refined experience within the subsequent iterations.
What would you like to see more of in the future with like later wipes, later uh iterations of this?
I would like to see the summit processes refined a bit. I feel that the rewards have been a little lackluster thus far. I also feel like the stakes for disputes should be raised. Perhaps a reimagining of the raid system to spark more conflicts naturally.
All right, okay. And in terms of the, let's put this one into a perspective. Uh, in terms of the whole PvP or lack thereof, how would you say that fares? What are your opinions on that actually? Like, are you for it? Are you
Oh, I
against
can
it?
I can say blanket statement. I have not seen any PvP yet, and I will say that while this is expected this early on, again we're only still in the first year here, but it's definitely not what I had foreseen. I
Would
would have
you?
thought that there would have been a larger conflict arising, but it seems that this might have just happened again with the Northern Alliance and the Southern city-states.
Yeah. Would you uh embrace it? Would you like for there to be PvP, considering how some people say that the server has gotten a little bit boring?
Well, you see, the war and turmoil, it breeds necessity and desperation, and where there is desperation, there are profits to be reaped. And this is where I think we would fall into play, you see. So once those gears are turning, we will we will get in there.
Okay.
Until then, we have remained to stockpile and just see to ourselves.
All right. Uh, and in regards of the current situation of the pause of PvP and the pause of raids, and there not being much quote unquote to do, how would you see that? Would you prefer there to be raids? Would you prefer there to be some more, a little bit more combat, a little bit more of stuff to do?
Wouldn't want to see anything forced, but I think that there could be some. That is the nature of a civilization server such as this. Now is that there should be some contention. There,
Yeah.
like I said, there needs to be stakes for anything to have weight. But I do believe that in time we will see. We will see.
And what about what's the word? The way that it's been currently handled with essentially there being an outright ban on PvP until now. How do you see that?
I don't believe that that is the case. I do believe that if there is an RP reason, that PvP is fully justified. I have not seen any myself, but I believe that those are the rules. Is
Yeah.
that if somebody were to proclaim their uh, their reasons, then there's
Yeah,
nothing to stop them.
I get that, but currently with what happened in the with what happened with the pirates, with what happened with the raids and how people reacted to it, Britain has put a pause on PvP and has put a pause on the raids until further notice because of one, there being a lack of staff, and two being a lack of oversight, which the two are pretty required by
Now, I
each other.
believe that the initial pirate incident was the whole dealio there. The scoop is that the admin was the first one to raid anyone. So he's put a pause on these things for everyone. I think he wants somebody else to take the reins because it would look bad if the admin did the second raid as well. You see.
Maybe. But I see it as a lot of people are scared of doing any raids or anything at all by a lot of factors, but one of the main factors being that they feel like the raid ban still being in place, they might get banned or they might get kicked just like the pirates. What would you think of that?
I don't think so. I believe that the pirates were only the only people who were banned were purposefully not only just inciting conflict, which I don't think should be a bannable offense, but they were trapping people, and I can see how that could be a bannable offense, as it's they were avoiding conflict or avoiding combat while trapping people, so
The
they
pirates
had
weren't the
no
one
means of escape.
who had trapped someone. They were the ones being trapped.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, but coming down to it now, at the present, with there not really being many, what's the word? Oh, there we go. With there being a pause and a ban on the raids right now, do you feel like that's a good thing? Do you feel like that's a bad thing? Do you feel like uh there should be the raids should be continue to be allowed? Since right now,
Absolutely. I was not aware that they were put on hold in any official capacity, but I am upset to hear that that may be so. I believe that that is integral to the game that we are playing, you see.
okay. Uh, in the case that PvP is not to come back to the
I would
server,
I would not imagine that would be the case. If it was so, that would be mighty disappointing, and I imagine we would see an exodus should an announcement of such occur.
do you feel like a transition from PvP to PvE would be a good change of pace? Probably adding something like per se
I
a
think that it
fantasy
would
monster mod.
I don't think any mod on the current state could compete. I believe that the whole premise of this server was civilizations and the politics and conflicts that ensue with having conflicting civilizations. Removing the human element would it would defeat the whole purpose. You see.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. All right. Well, any parting message that you would like to give to the people? Anything at all?
Oh, once again, I'll say that if anyone is looking to join this server, I believe that the applications are always open, and we would like to see more people online.
Well, and with that, we close this one off as well.